Little black book, you know what time it is. 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 Time it is.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean, baby? For those of you who are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those of you who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, for those of you I'm going to be talking about today, how to replace the confidence in a relationship when there's been infidelity. What do you do as a person who has broken that trust? How do you regain the confidence of the individual that you've hurt? If you've missed out part one, go watch part one, and continue this video onwards. So yeah, let's get into the video, baby. Are you mad? Gay? Cool. So last time we spoke about obviously how an individual should receive, and how they should go about the process of forgiving, or so I say forgetting, and learning how to trust the individual that they're going forward with. And today I'm going to talk more in terms of you're the person who's broken that trust. How do you regain the confidence of that individual? How do you regain the trust of that individual? So I always break down the definition of words. So what is trust? For me, trust is placing confidence in someone or something. It's placing the confidence in that person. And so when we look at this situation, obviously when it comes to something like infidelity, the confidence in you has been broken to be faithful. And what has happened is that now that's been broken, the person can't confidently say, number one, you won't do it again, and number two, that you have their best interests at heart, because you've hurt their heart with your actions. And therefore they can't confidently be in a relationship potentially with you, because it's all about trust, isn't it, relationship? So yeah, we're going to talk about how you can best regain that confidence and what you have to do that. All right, I've been on both sides of the track. I've been in the cheater and the cheated, so I know how both people think, and I know the mindset that individuals go through at the time. The first question I would ask yourself is, do you really want to build the trust again? You're the person who has broken this trust. I have to ask myself that question. Do you really want to build that trust again? If the answer is no, no point watching this video, is there? But if the answer is yes, then you need to ask yourself, how badly do you want to repair the trust of the individual? How badly do you want the confidence of that person to be rebuilt inside of you? Because if you really desire it, then there are going to be times where you're going to have to take some punches. There are going to be times where you're going to have to take, some L's here, and you've got to be open and ready to have certain discussions which are going to put you in the spotlight. That's going to put you in a bad frame, and that's going to make you feel bad because of what you've done, and you're going to feel a little bit judged, and that's okay, because you've done something and you have to take the L. Now, if you don't want to do that, and you've got a lot of pride in you, which I see a lot of guys especially have, and you've got a lot of pride in you, you won't do this. And what you will do is you will force your way into that person's life by, doing little tidbits here and there. You'll involve sex into the equation, and then what you do is you'll manipulate the individual into trusting you again. Yeah, forcing them to trust you again, because you will do things like, what, you don't trust me? How can you not trust me now? We've been doing this for 2-3 months down the line. How can you not trust me no more? Like, if you're the one that's got the problem, blah, blah, blah. You'll flip it onto the other person instead of actually taking responsibility for your actions. This is what I call somebody who's a responsible human being. This is what I call an actual man. When somebody, or a woman, sorry, I should say, when they're taking responsibility for their action and not trying to shirk away from it. That is, I wouldn't say definition, but that's an aspect of being a grown-ass adult. And so what I say is that what I see oftentimes is grown-ass boys and girls who deflect and don't want to take responsibility for their actions. And what happens is they will shy away from the conversation and not have the conversation, and stop you from talking about the conversation and how you feel. And therefore, true trust and confidence can't really be built. And that person will always have something in the back of their mind that you potentially could do this again. You as a person, I want to let you know that them forgiving you or saying they forgive you does not stop their pain, does not stop their mind going crazy, does not automatically rebuild trust and confidence. It does not automatically mean that when they're smiling with you, that they are happy with you. Why am I telling you this? Because I need you to understand that it's not over just yet. The forgiveness side of things, the person can say, I forgive you, but there is an aspect of a mindset that needs to be transformed and changed, and it takes some time. So you as an individual, you need to have the word I call patience. If you don't have patience, this is not going to work the way you want it to work. You see, you can't just take a broken leg, put a cast on it, and then take the cast off earlier than it's supposed to. No, the cast needs to stay on. Even if your leg feels like it's doing better, it needs to stay on. Let that a lot of time finish so that you're fully ready when you come out of that cast to do what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, there may be a chance of a reoccurring injury. So that patience is essentially essential. It's needed. Okay? So that's a deliberate action of patience. There may be times in the conversation, like I said, there may be times where they may come and ask you a question. You don't like the question because it's based upon what happened in the past. And you may first thought maybe, are you going to leave this behind? Are you going to leave this alone? Yeah, you want to say that, but you can't. Do you know why? Because you need to have an understanding that because you've done something, you've created an atmosphere and a storm in that person's mind, and you need to have a conversation to calm the storm. Yes, your job is to reassure that individual that there's no need to have a doubt. Do you get me? That takes patience. You need to also acknowledge that the person, if their person is trying, you need to acknowledge that the person is placing trust in you deliberately. You need to acknowledge that, and I call it encouragement. When the person is speaking and telling you certain things, be like, oh, you know what? I really appreciate the fact you've come and been honest with me or been transparent with me, and it's really helped me to understand where you're coming from. And you don't need to apologize again for the incident. You just need to say, listen, I really appreciate what you said, and you know what? Yeah, I'm hearing you, and here's what we can do to move forward, or here's my truth. I don't want to do that again. I'm here working this out. Here's the actions I've put into place. Blah 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 blah. It's a whole type of conversation. So you need to understand that, acknowledge that the person put trust in you deliberately, and move forward with that. I mentioned in the other video, part 1, is that you also need to be honest and not and rather than being transparent. So when I say be honest, it means being proactive. Yeah. Sometimes it may be a case of you can notice certain behaviors in that person that is a little bit or they're not really talkative today. You ask them a question. It may not be directly towards what you've done, but ask them a question like, look, hey, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Give that person space and room to maneuver. Like, look, you can ask me anything. Like, even if it is about the incident, then ask the question. It's not a problem. I'll answer it. What that does is instantly places a safe zone for that individual to go, you know what, maybe I have been thinking about it, and I know it's stupid, I've been going over it in my head like last few weeks, and you know what, I just want to ask you this question, like it's burning in me, and blah 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 blah. And I think that is quintessential, it's needed, sorry, I shouldn't say quintessential, wrong word. It is needed in order for there to be a regaining of confidence. Your honesty in terms of being proactive is 100%. That honesty is about being observing and noticing when there's a change or a dip in mood that doesn't seem right. Do you get what I'm saying? The second part of that is to be transparent. So when the person's being honest and asking you questions, are you going to be transparent, or are you going to pretend as if the person can't handle the truth? The moment you get into a space where you say the person can't handle the truth is the moment things will really not work out the way it needs to work out. The reason why I say that is because the truth always comes out. Say it, lay it bare, let the truth be known. Don't try to hide it and say, oh, this person can't handle the aspect of truth. Just say it. Say it in a respectful, loving manner, and then let's see how we can move forward from that. The person has every right to hear what you said, which is honest and transparent, and still be offended at that point in a moment. You've got to be able to handle that. You've got to be able to process that. You've got to be able to say, listen, Joe, I know you're probably going to you might have to get offended by this, but I have to tell you this anyway, because I really value your confidence in me, and I really value that. I want to start this process of honesty and being truthful with you so we can build upon that. That's what you need. That open, honest conversation. Do you know what I mean? The truth will come out eventually. So if you don't say it to them, it will get to them eventually. Don't think that you can hide it forever. It comes out eventually. Either you'll confess later on and cause more damage, or somebody else will tell on you. It's just the way life is. Saying as well, don't be afraid of that conversation. Look, I know you're gonna feel like you're being judged, and I know you're gonna feel like, I'm not a bad one. Like, I'm not a bad guy, like, or a bad girl. I'm not really trying to, like, I made a mistake. Can we leave it alone? This is not you, yeah. This is not you taking someone's pen and not putting it back where it is, yeah. This is not a one-off deal. This is someone's heart, and so unfortunately, you need to be able, like I said, the patient, but also as well, to not get angry and not feel like you're being judged and not be afraid of having a conversation where you are not the good guy or the good girl, where you are the villain and you have to explain why you've become the villain. There are going to be conversations like that. Yeah. They shouldn't be using the past as leverage. I want to say that straight away, because I think a lot of times in relationships, that's what I was saying about the other person shouldn't be, they shouldn't bottle up their feelings, etc., etc. But for you, you do not have to accept the past being used as a leverage or a beating stick. The person shouldn't be beating you with the past. This should be a constructive conversation where you are discussing the past and something's happened. It should never be a beating stick. Yeah? It's because that should have happened when you initially had the first conversation. There might have been the anger, and you are this, and you are that, and you are this. That was the beating stick time. Now we're having a few weeks down the line, or a few months down the line, or a few days down, whatever. It's not about being the beating stick now. Now it's about having a constructive conversation. You do not have to accept a beating stick. Now, what does a beating stick actually entail? I'm talking about when a person is, coming at you in a certain way. They're allowed to ask you questions. I said this already, but they shouldn't be coming at you like, you know what, you make me sick and did it. Like, okay, I said honesty, but listen, let's not go too far here. We're not trying to break the individual. They did something wrong. You've done something wrong, you know that, but you don't have to accept abuse. We don't want to go there. What we're saying is have constructive conversation, where we're talking about what's happened. Do you get me? You are entitled to that. Past also shouldn't be used as a leverage against you. So that person shouldn't be making you feel guilty in the sense of they shouldn't be using the situation to make you do certain things. They shouldn't be manipulating you into certain situations. Oh, if you weren't cheating that, maybe you would actually do this for me. Nah, we don't do that here. And you don't have to accept that. That's incorrect, that's wrong. That's not going to help build the confidence. That's only going to tear us down. And you should be open and honest enough to say, look, I don't want to exist in that kind of format. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't manipulate me. Like, when I know I've done wrong, but I shouldn't be being manipulated into certain things. If you feel, don't let guilt make you do certain things that you shouldn't do. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't make guilt change your behavior in a certain way that is not conducive, for yourself and for an individual in the long run. Because I know some people will use the past as a way to kind of like downtrod you or to make you do certain things. Why? Because they want to have now power and control, because they felt like they lost power and control in forgiving you and giving you a second chance. So you don't have to accept that. In order to build up confidence, you need to be ready to be continuously consistent, and that's in your actions and in your words. If you say you're coming home at 8, be home at 8, and if you can't make 8, call ahead of time. So listen, babe, I can't make 8. Here's the reason why. I'm in the office. I just need to sort out a few bits of paperwork, and it's overrun. I'll be home at 9. Cool, you've let me know. Do you get me? Try to keep that to a minimum. The reason why I say that is because what happens is that becomes like, okay, that's the third time this week that you said you're gonna have to be working late. Like, what's going on? And the mind of the other individual begins to wonder. What you're trying to do is create a safe space. You're trying to create this place of confidence in you that you are dependable and reliable. Because already you've broken that from doing what you've done. You need to rebuild that up. So if you say you're gonna be somewhere, be there. If there's a time attached to it, be there at that time. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the person call you like, you said you were in Oxford and now you're in Cambridge. What's going on? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just giving an example. But there should be a continuous continuity of action and words. If you said you're not going to talk to that person no more that you cheated with, don't talk to that person no more. And don't let there be a situation where you get caught. And when I say don't get caught, I mean in the sense of don't let there be a situation where you're actually doing something you shouldn't be doing. Do you get what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? The agreement that you guys set ahead of time saying, look, this is what we're going to agree on, this is the actions we're going to pursue. Let it be continuous and let it be let it be consistent, because that's how confidence builds in people. The confidence builds up in people when there's consistency. Be ready to reassure when they're in doubt. You know, there may be times where they need some reassurance. Just reassure them. You know, I'll keep that short, so I won't even talk longer than that. So yeah, I think as well for you, you may need, I believe you may need an accountability partner, in the sense of someone you can talk to. And this is also for the person who's also, you know, trying to repair the trust. You may both need accountability partners where you can speak your truth and be able to have a second opinion. Because obviously after the conversations that you guys may initially have, may raise questions, may raise fears, it may raise things that are on your mind, but you need another person outside the relationship who you can talk to, who you can actually bounce ideas off. Because sometimes when we're in our own bubble, we think that certain behaviours are okay, or certain things that are said are okay, until we get into another space and we're like, actually, do you know what? No, that wasn't okay. So, you know, you have to kind of just be able to work within that confinement and just say, look, okay, this works for me, this don't work for me. But having somebody who can bounce ideas off just keeps you in the same mind. And so I want to end on this point. Listen, if you've broken somebody's trust, I want you to be ready to be open and honest. I want you to be ready to be transparent on your arcs. I want you to be ready to be able to say, listen, do you know what? I know this is not about me being bashed, but it's about an individual being reassured and having confidence in me being rebuilt through this process. So again, you know, make sure that you're ready for that. It takes patience. It's not a one-day affair. So guys, yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You already know the minerals, baby. Bam! Listen, are you Maddie Lane, baby? Get gay. Little blackbird. That note was off. Little blackbird, you know what time it is.